How to sing with your guitar. There is only one way to allow this to happen. First, you have to adopt my system, and then second, you have to follow the second rule that I'll tell you after. That is the only way that you can learn how to sing on guitar. In other words, have complete freedom, the ability to articulate what you want to say on your guitar. If you're improvising, you're not always saying what you want to say. Sometimes you're just fitting in. Like if you're having a conversation with your aunt and you're just trying to fit in and you're not very comfortable, but you're trying to fit in. And there's nothing that you necessarily want to say. You know, that's not improvisation. Improvisation is dialogue. It's having a thought and knowing how to express your thought quickly, without having to think, right? Or without having to have any barrier in between your thought and your voice. That's the goal for everybody. There's always going to be a little bit of a barrier, but as we grow older, we're breaking that barrier. We're learning how to break that and make things natural and quick. So we want to have that with guitar as well. And that's possible. So not all improvisation says something, right? That's what Miles Davis, John Coltrane, they wouldn't play with people who didn't know how to say things, right? They don't play with people who just join into the ride and swim with them, right? They want to play with people that they can converse with through their instruments. So how do you do that on guitar? There's really no good systems online that show you how to break that barrier completely. And I'm going to show you a system that does break that barrier. But just because you have the system, but it allows you to practice much more efficiently in a completely better way. So the first thing you need to do is hold out your four fingers the first thing you actually need to do is get some graph paper and draw a 6x6 lot, okay? 36 squares. So draw it with me. And look at it for a little bit, because this is your new home. This is your new guitar home. Your conceptual framework that you will look at the guitar forever. This is what it looks like. So look at it. How though? How is this going to be the way that we look at guitar? So hold out your four fingers. I'm going to assign each finger a lot. Some fingers are more important than the others. So your pointer finger is an important finger, or an anchor finger that I would call. That has a 12 square lot. So draw that 12 squares right here. This is what we're going to assign for your pointer finger. It's a little room in the house. This is its room. I'm going to draw one. Okay, now your middle finger, I'm going to give it another room, but it's a smaller room. It's a 6 square lot. Or maybe we can think of it as yards, like a field or property. Okay, this index finger, it also gets a 6 square lot. Right here. Free to roam anywhere in here. And then your pinky has another 12 square lot. So these fingers are important. Why are they important? Because they have a little bit more freedom. And just the way that our hand works, right? Why is this Spock thing, why is it hard to do? Because these fingers don't move around much. It's hard for them to move. So they're kind of stable, right? But these fingers, they have some flexibility. That's why this is a symbol that we naturally do. and why this isn't really a natural symbol. We're more quick to do this, right? So how does this work on guitar? If you think about it, guitar, for the most part, we're anchored. The weight is centered around our pointer finger, at least in rock guitar music. I'll show you that. So, like, look. Where's the weight? Is it on my index? Kind of, but for the most part, it's on my pointer. Okay. So, let's show this lot. So how does this apply? So basically, it's simple. This top part is the frets, and then this is the strings. So we have this symmetrical neighborhood that we get to have for our guitar. Each finger with its own property. So how does that look? I'll show you. So the pointer finger, let's look at his little property. This is what it looks like. Yep, it's weird, but you have to get used to it. This isn't really a natural movement, but if you adopt this sort of natural movement, you will have complete freedom, and I guarantee you that. So just do this with me. Do this unnatural movement. Exploring your freedom in all different patterns. Okay, so this is its freedom. See it? Okay, now the next finger, let's explore his lot. Okay, your middle finger. He doesn't have as much freedom because he's kind of a more stable finger, right? Or a finger that doesn't move as much naturally. So this is what he gets. Not a very natural movement either, but something we have to learn. Next finger has a similar area. This is what he gets. Oop. Okay, and finally your pinky has another 12 scale lot. He has a little bit more privilege. Okay, these are your town members. So I'm using so much. I'll stop. So let's explore our new town. This is our complete freedom. They're all working together now. I'm highlighting the 36 squares of our new guitar home, new guitar neighborhood. This is the conceptual framework that we will see everything starting now. This gives us complete freedom. When we go online, that's not what it shows us. It shows us the areas that exist inside of this, and it's not consistent and not comprehensive at all. So practice this. This is what we practice before the next video. Just going through, kind of like I did surveying for a while. This is kind of what it's like. You just go through every area that you have and just mark it. Not very natural, but important. Okay, and then you can do it in a different way. You could do it from we did it horizontally. Now do it vertically, right? This is... Oh, sorry, I cheated. Okay. Then go back. I don't do this top one, this sort of one as much. So there's no music in all this, but we're just familiarizing ourselves with our new neighborhood. Yeah, so this is the first part of how to sing with your guitar, how to articulate and say stuff with your guitar and instrument. Hope you like this, and post comments if you have any questions. Thank you.